What impresses you the most about this whole story?
Susie, if it's okay, just two things. One, probably his greatest accomplishment is this season of his whole career. To come to a new team in a new place, he could have easily been ceremonial. Helicopters flying over his house. How does he draw those new teammates into him, to trust him, to develop that so quickly, Bug? And
Right.
to me, there's all kinds of things, lessons in there, and how he does that to develop a sense of love and respect really quickly. And the second thing is Reggie White, whenever he'd sack me, he would grab me and then go to the ground, and then he'd want to talk. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? I haven't talked to you in a long time. My point being that Reggie could be in the heat of the competition, and then in a splash, he was a friend. And to me, that's the greatest thing about Tom Brady, is that he can be fixated on excellence, like maniacal fixation, and yet have a fulsome family life. Something that he can put on one pair of shoes here and put on another pair of shoes there. And it's a great example for all of us, how to be more spiritually and emotionally athletic, be excellent, and still be great at multiple things. You can't say enough, but I think the rootedness of who Tom Brady is, to me, is a lesson for all of us. We can learn from what he's done. It's really a miraculous thing.
Well, and I think that piece just humanized him. And you talk about him being a dad, and as soon as the game's over, he's going up and trying to find his son. And to me, that shows everyone, yeah, he's this bigger than life figure, but he's still just a person. He puts his pants on one leg at a time. And ultimately, there's been a lot of GOAT talk this week. Big goats, little goats. To me, there's only one GOAT. If you're the greatest of all time, there's only one. And for Tom Brady, I think he's already there. I think he's the greatest of all time. So what's going to motivate him to come out and keep playing? I think inside him, he wants to make sure that he leaves no doubt that regardless of any situation, regardless of however we want to quantify it, he's the greatest of all time in his mind, even though we already think
he's
that.
fixated on that?
I think he's fixated on proving everyone wrong still.
Yeah, I believe that. I think everybody wants to be the great, all that stuff is, but actually what is your North Star, I don't think that's what he's really focused. I think it goes down to just enjoying, he enjoys it.
He does, he loves football,
Right.
That's the whole reason, but he has talked to us during the season that it still bothers him that he was picked 199th, that people didn't believe he belonged in the league, and he said at the time, I'm sticking around longer than anybody else ever did because they didn't even think I belonged
Look,
here.
there's something unnatural in Tom. There's it's not in a bad way. It's like he has a fixation on that issue.
Yes.
In a way that's
competitive.
It's unnatural, but in a really positive way.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell you.
And to me, it's that competitive thing. There are people that if he doesn't win this Super Bowl tonight, they'll say, aha, you couldn't do it without Bill. Somebody will say that somewhere. And so I think even though we think he's the greatest of all time, for Tom to take that seed of doubt away from anyone out there, not only could I do it with Bill, I can come in the midst of COVID, in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, not no teammates. You can have helicopters flying around fields where I'm practicing on high school fields, and I can get this done. To me, that solidifies him as the greatest of all time in his mind.
And a lucky man, because very, very, very few great athletes get to empty the tank.
Correct, yes.
Have the right place, the injuries, everything else to work out to allow you. Everyone would like to empty the tank that way. Right. What else can I do? Let me make a list, and I'm just going to start checking them off. Only Tom Brady gets to check everything off.
Here's something perfect then to put a button on what you're saying. So when you were 43 years old, what were you doing?
I was going into the Hall of Fame at 43.
It was 2005. You were going into the Hall of Fame, which means you had already been retired.
But I'll tell you this. I told you earlier in the show, there's things I've learned since. I was like, why did I not keep playing? Why didn't I go in motion like Patrick Mahomes in the backfield?
You couldn't do that.
Why didn't we just keep playing?
No, you couldn't do that.
Bug?
Game's so different. Game's so different today.
Jerry Rice and I last week we were talking, do you think we could?
No, you couldn't. No.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.